Citrine is by far one of the worst Warframes to farm in the game. I would say she makes it into my top 5 along with the likes of Kullerva and Harrow. At release, she was easier to get because everyone played her mission, so you'd find a group. Now you're pretty much alone, unless you find someone to accompany you, and let's be honest, nobody wants to do this. So for all of you out there that want to obtain her, I've put myself through the pain of doing this again, but this time solo. I have to say, if you're new, I wouldn't focus on getting Citrine because it's a pain. The build I use does require a helmet and everything here is SteelPath. Now let's talk a bit about the mission. You can find it on Mars and it's called Trina Pass. It's a mirror defense mission, so all you have to do is keep the objective alive until the timer runs out. You defend the objective for 2 minutes and a half, then move on to the other side, defend that objective for another 2 minutes and a half, and that's a rotation. Citrine blueprints drop on rotation C. In any mission you play, the rotations go A, B, C, which means you can drop Citrine blueprints every 4 rotations, so that is round 4, 8 and so on. This is the loot table. Yes, I know, it's bad, but you can also buy her blueprints with Beleric and Rania crystal fragments, which you get in this mission as well. While defending the objective, crystals will spawn around you on stairs, on the ground and up in the air. Every 50 crystals you collect will give you Rania and Beleric fragments. On SteelPath, you get 7 fragments for every 50 crystals collected, 7 Rania, then 7 Beleric and so on. You also get 15 Rania and 15 Beleric fragments for completing a rotation. If you get extremely unlucky and never drop Citrine parts, you will need 1550 Rania fragments and 1500 Beleric fragments to straight up buy the whole of Citrine. By the way, her parts can be purchased from Otak in the Necrolisk on Deimos. Okay, with the info dump out of the way, let me show you the builds. Because of the nature of this mission, it has to be Titania. It's by far the best choice because you need to get to random spots in the air and move fast while collecting crystals. The build I use focuses on duration, efficiency and range. This is because we build around her third ability called Lantern and Resonator, which is a Helminth ability. You can get this by feeding Octavia to the Helminth. On top of this, you will be in your Ultima pretty much all the time, so you also need energy. With maximum efficiency and high duration, you can always stay in your Ultima. The duration also makes your third ability and Resonator last for a decent amount of time, and the range is to make sure everyone around these abilities is affected. You also need a weapon. This doesn't have to be specific, so use anything you want. I use Torrid and Boar Incarnon just because they're OP. This is my Boar Incarnon setup, but again, you don't need this, just get something that kills. Now let me show you how you play this. Once the mission starts, you want the enemies to get a little closer to the defense objective so you can set up around it. Use your lantern on the first enemy that gets close enough, and then you throw Resonator as well. This is all crowd control. Lantern attracts enemies and Resonator charms them. Enemies will never attack the objective as long as these abilities are up, but you need to make sure they are always up. They will occasionally hit the objective by mistake, but it's literally insignificant. Now you can just go and collect crystals. This shouldn't take too long, and after you collect everything, get back and start killing enemies. Enemy kills affect crystal spawn rate sadly, so killing enemies will accelerate the spawn if there's nothing on the map. But crystals do spawn by themselves as well, I just couldn't figure out the pattern. This is what you do when defending the objective, but there is another important thing to mention. When traveling from one objective to another, collect as many crystals as possible in that transition space. There are many crystals floating around there and you're Titania, so take advantage of this and get everything you can. Then rush to the objective to set up again. I recommend you restart the mission after rotation C or the 4th round, just because there's no reason to push really. You want the enemies to be weaker if possible, not stronger, but it's up to you from here. To show you some results, I average about 120 Rania and 120 Beleric fragments per 4 rotations, or 25 minutes. Is this great? Not particularly, but it's the fastest you can do alone. If you want to go a bit faster, then you're gonna have to bring a friend to defend and kill, so you can just collect. The last thing I want to mention is, don't spend your crystals right away. Because you'll need to do many runs overall, wait and see what blueprints you drop, and then deduct to figure out how many crystals you need. I really hope this helps. I hope you get lucky and get this fast, and god I hate this farm. Thank you very much for watching, please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!